Welcome to the Wednesday Warrior wrap-up, and first up we're going to be talking about the Hasbro Tron Legacy 6-inch figure line. And we've talked about this before, but they are officially available for pre-order right now if you want to pick them up on Hasbro Pulse. Link will be in the description down below with all the other links from today's products that are available. And this is very interesting. I don't know why they went the route they did, but instead of selling each of the figures as standalone figures, they did 4 of the figures in the 4-pack, being Rinsler, aka Tron, Clue, Flynn, and Cora, I think it is her name. Those 4 in a 4-pack, and then Sam, of course, comes with the light cycle. So there's 2 different things. One I think is $120 and the other is $150. I could be wrong about those prices. They're cool. It's just after the unfortunate failure of the HasLab 3-inch line of the classic Tron figures, I'm curious to see how this does. Will it do well enough that we might see more 6-inch figures from Tron Ares or Tron, the classic movie, or is it just this is it and then we're done because the HasLab didn't do too well and we don't really know how well this is doing? But I think these are really cool looking figures. Is it something that I'd buy? Probably not. I have the original Spin Master 3-inch toys from this, and I was really hoping for the classic ones, but they did not, succeed. So hopefully this does well enough that they keep doing 6-inch figures. Maybe it will make me more interested if they do the classic Tron first, and maybe we see some Tron Ares stuff. But as of now, I'm passing on these. But if you're a Tron fan and you like 6-inch figures, this is definitely for you, and I would not skip out on it because I don't think it's something that will, once it pre-orders and sells out. I know a lot of people are saying it's going to go to Ross-Con and Ollie's. It could, but I don't know. It might be one of those things where they just keep it at Hasbro forever until it finally goes on clearance there. So it's kind of a mixed bag of marbles when it comes to it. And in some real fast Star Wars Hasbro news, we have a look at an Amazon 2-pack that kind of just showed up on Amazon, with that of the Star Wars Darth Nihilus, I think it is, and Darth Tyra. This is, of course, I believe from the Star Wars The Old Republic line of figures. We have gotten 2 versions of Darth Nihilus already, I believe. This one is supposed to be some new tooling, so it's more proper proportions compared to the other 2. And then we've got, of course, this new Sith character, not new Sith character, but new figure of the Sith character. This is really cool. I think that Hasbro Star Wars team has realized that their big areas are the big 3, clones, Jedi, and Sith. I think Mandalorians are still in the top running, and troops in general, like Stormtroopers and Battle Droids and Rebel Troopers, are still in the running. But I know that a lot of people are willing to buy clone troopers and, in a way, droids, Battle Droids and stuff. And then Jedi and Sith more likely to kind of lean into that than other things. But doesn't mean we're not collecting other things. It's just anytime they come out with this kind of stuff, I feel like, it's more appealing to the fan base. But yeah, really cool. Just wanted to cover it real fast here. If you want to pick it up, it is available exclusively on Amazon. And in some Marvel toy news from Hasbro, we have a look at a whole lot of new Marvel items because yesterday they had the Marvel live stream from Hasbro where they revealed a bunch of different items, including a whole new Build-A-Figure wave which went live today. So there will be links for that in the description down below, and it is that of a Build-A-Figure wave that builds a character named Box, I believe it is, from Alpha Flight. There's also Dark Avengers Hawkeye, which is of course Bullseye, which I'm really excited for that one. There's also Robbie, Reyes, Ghost Rider, so it's out of the HasLab area now. Dan even said hopefully one day we can get an Engine of Vengeance out there, so they might even get that out there at some point. That'd be really cool. I know they've been talking about wanting to do the White Horse for the Phantom, so maybe we'll start getting vehicles in Marvel Legends like G.I. Joe and Star Wars. There was some other characters. There was Outback Psylocke, which looks really cool. U.S. Agent from Force Works. Ultimate Wolverine. I think it was Marrina from Alpha Flight also. And then who was the other characters? There's one more, right? Hawkeye, Marrina, Wolverine, Psylocke. I said Hawkeye. Pretty much there were 7 figures in total. Ghost Rider, maybe I did say all of them. If I didn't say all, though, I'm sorry to the character I forgot off the top of my head. But yeah, that was a really cool wave. It will be going out in August, so it's a fall release. But we also got other reveals, that of Marvel Rivals reveals. So if you're a Marvel Rival gamer fan, there will be 4 different offerings, 2 2-packs and 2 single packs, 1 a deluxe, 1 a standard. So Punisher will be a standard figure. It looks really awesome. Moon Knight will be a deluxe, but in my opinion, it is not very deluxe. I know a lot of people are saying this. I don't know why they didn't just give him a wired cape and they gave him 2 plastic capes. I also don't know why he didn't come with, I believe it's called an Ankh, which is the item he throws on the ground as his ultimate. I don't know why he didn't have that. There's a lot, with this wave of figures that I'm kind of on the downside about. The other things are a Spider-Man and Luna Snow 2-pack, which I think look really cool. It's awesome to get Luna Snow. And then the other 2-pack is another thing I'm kind of upset about, is the Venom and Jeff the Shark 2-pack. They did Jeff dirty, in my opinion. They made him a slug figure pretty much. He's got no articulation except for in the neck, and that's because he has a swappable head. And in my opinion, he's pretty huge. I don't know if he's that big in the game, because they have him with Venom here, and Venom, another thing, I really wish he was a standalone figure and was a deluxe on his own with extra symbiote parts. Especially since his ultimate is him throwing down all the symbiote goop, but I guess you could take the Game Reverse PlayStation one and kind of try that. But yeah, this 2-pack was kind of disappointing too. I was really hoping for more from it, but I feel like it's one of those things where they're doing a lot of sculpting with these. They're unique toys. They're not going to get a lot of use out of these unless they do the alternate skins, and even the alternate skins in the game have extra parts, little adornments here and there on the outfits and stuff. So I don't know. I'm excited for these, but I'm also not excited for these. I know a lot of people are saying you could get the Blokees Moon Knight cape and give it to the Marvel Legends one, because I think it is a wired cape. But the Blokees one is a little bit shorter. It's not quite 6-inch, so the cape won't be 100% to scale, I think. But yeah, very interesting. Some hit or miss with the Marvel Rivals stuff. I think it's a cool idea. They make stuff for everyone. It might not be for me, but it's for someone else. I probably will still pick up the Punisher because he is my favorite character to play in the game. Even though I'm not a huge Punisher fan myself, it is a cool character in the game. The Spider-Man looks really cool too, and getting Luna in the line because she is in the comics now. I'm kind of curious if they'll ever do a comic version. But yeah, lots of course, my bread and butter, Transformers had stuff this week as well. I believe it went live on Tuesday, yesterday, right after the live stream for Marvel. Transformers had stuff go up for pre-order. I was so excited. It was Studio Series with a little bit of Age of Primes. So the Age of the Primes item, which I am over the moon for, pun intended, since it is Jetfire shuttle mode, also known as Jet Pants, because he makes the pants for Optimus in their super linked mode. I'm very excited for this one. It even comes with, I kid you not, the mini-bots that are the space mini-bots that make the Requiem Blaster, which means I think this is the second Requiem Blaster we've gotten this last couple years, because Megatronus's weapon, I believe, is that, and he has his version from that lore, which is not a mini-bot, and now we have this one, which is really cool. All 3 of the mini-bots look incredible. I am a little disappointed that the spaceship one doesn't have a proper cone, but I think that's due to combination to make a more smoother combined version. I love that the smaller vehicle one, that is usually the one that holds the space shuttle, can also hold Jetfire and wheel him around like an actual space shuttle with a little trolley. I'm hoping that in the future we'll get his actual minicon along with the rest of the minicons we're missing that were supposed to come with characters that never did in a minicon pack. I will say I've heard rumors, but I'm not going to dwell on that. And then in the Studio Series side of things, and he was a Commander class, by the way, going for $100. In the Studio Series side of things, we got a Leader class reissue with that a Scourge from Rise of the Beast. We got a Voyager new Evasion Mode Optimus Prime from TF Age of Extinction. We also got Bumblebee from that same one. He's a little interesting. I have the original Toys R Us exclusive one that came out with like the Bumblebee from the core class, or I guess Legend scale one, and I really like that one a lot more than this one, but I might still get this one and see. Maybe I'm just not seeing it here because it's not completely properly transformed. There's a lot of like they weren't completely transformed, I think, figures. That happens a lot with these promo photos, so I will wait to see. Then we got 2 deluxes from Transformers 1. The Bumblebee was a deluxe also. With that of Soundwave, which the robot mode looks incredible. Vehicle mode, of course, it is a space flying, saucer kind of thing. And then that of Thundercracker we got also from Transformers 1, and he looks incredible. So all 6 of these are available now for the new price points. I believe leaders are 60, Voyagers are 43, and deluxes are 28 now. And the Commander's 100. But really cool figures. I'm excited for all of them. Some of the Studio Series stuff, most of the Bayverse stuff, I'm really curious to see in hand. But yeah, really cool stuff. And as some real fast Jetta toy news, Street Fighter specifically, BBTS got an exclusive Player 2 version of Blanka. And this is really cool. Some of the Player 2 versions are just like minor differences here and there, but I really like Blanka here because it is like full on, almost a different looking character because it's got the blues. And I think it's like oranges or yellows compared to the traditional green colored with like a orangish hair. It is really cool looking. If you want to pick it up, it is a BBTS exclusive, so you might want to like get on that sooner than later because I know a lot of the Player 2 exclusive ones are a bit harder to get than the Player 1 versions. I mean, even some of the characters that are just the Player 1 versions that are newer are already selling out and pre-selling out. So I'm like, wow, this line is definitely picking up. So if you want to pick yours up, you can pick it up now on BBTS exclusively. I think it just looks really cool and wanted to cover it here real fast. And in some awesome Blokees toy news, they have been doing, like I said, a lot of different franchises, Star Wars being one of them. It looks like they are now getting into the blind box side of things when it comes to Star Wars. Originally, they were doing kind of the heroic class ones, I think is what they're called, where they're like, you know who you're getting. It's a one-off figure, kind of like the Transformers 1 ones that were a little bit bigger. I think there was like a Soundwave, a Starscream, an Ironhide, a Shockwave, I think, and some other characters. These are more like the Galaxy Defenders, or the Galaxy versions, or whatever they are, the blind pack ones. And you have quite a few cool characters here. We have Darth Vader, of course, Bespin, Luke, so they can duel. You got Boba Fett, which is the one that I'm most excited about, R2-D2, Hoth Leia, but then New Hope, Han and Chewie. So you got New Hope, Han and Chewie, and then Bespin, Luke, and Hoth Leia. And then on top of R2-D2 and Darth Vader and Boba Fett, we also got a Snowtrooper and a, I want to say, Commander Stand Trooper, or just a Commander Stormtrooper, depending on which, one you want to go for. And all of these are really cool looking. I believe the chase is a holographic blue kind of glowing Darth Vader, kind of like the hologram when he's talking to people and stuff like that, or you can call it Ghost Vader if you want to. So that looks really cool. But these will be the, I believe, second of the blind box Star Wars figures, or maybe it's the first, I don't know. It's hard to keep up with all the amazing blocking news. I mean, we just got revealed the new Transformers ones, which will include like Wreck-Gar, a Hot Rod, a Chase Hot Rod, a Scorponok, just all kinds of cool ones. But yeah, lots of awesome blocky stuff. I just wanted to cover it here real fast because I thought it was really cool that we are getting more in the Star Wars side of things, kind of like we are with DC and Marvel and everything. It's insane what Blokees is doing. Last week, I was not completely informed or knowing of the Mondo Masters of the Universe He-Mans that were popping up. I thought they were individual ones for the 1/6 scale Mondo Motu. Turns out, no. I think I showed 2 of them. I think I showed the Power Sword one and the Flying Fist one, and then later on I noticed there was the King He-Man version or something like that. No, it is not separate figures. It is one deluxe figure that can be standard He-Man or any of those 3 if you want it to be, and that's incredible. I really wish they did this in the 1/12 scale line of things. I know they're leaving that for 2000X He-Man stuff, but I really hope they do something like this in the 1/12 scale one, because that would be really cool, because then you have one He-Man that could be any version of He-Man you want it to be. And that's really awesome. So this figure is goated with accessories. It looks incredible. It is available right now for pre-order for the limited time version. I don't know what that means. I think there's like a couple extra pieces, and then afterwards the standard version will come out without those extra pieces. But yeah, really cool looking. I'm excited to see that it's not just several different versions of He-Man, but one that could become any, which is just a really cool idea. And I wish the Chronicle version does something like this, or they do a 1/12 version at Mondo, because that would be really awesome. And a toy company I don't think I've talked about before here on the channel, that of Plastic Meatballs, who do 5-point articulated figures. I believe they were at, I want to say, WonderCon recently. And they had quite a few things they were showing off. Well, some of them are available for pre-order right now, and it is that of the Labyrinth movie figures. I believe this is like a wave 2. I think there was a Hoggle, a Sarah with the worm in her regular outfit, and then the Goblin King in his, standard outfit first. And now we have Sarah in her ball outfit, and the Goblin King in his ball outfit, and then Sir Didymus, I think it is, with Ambrosia. And then one of the goblins with the baby, I think it's Toby. So this is kind of a line that's celebrating the 40th anniversary of Labyrinth, which, whoa, that's crazy. It's one of my favorite Jim Henson movies. I mean, all Jim Henson movies are my favorite. I think Dark Crystal and Labyrinth, though, are really cool fantasy movies. And if you haven't watched them, you should go watch them. They are really cool. Who doesn't love puppets and fantasy kind of settings? It's amazing. But yeah, all these figures are 5-point figures, so think reaction figures, where it's like, limited articulation but really good detail. These are really awesome. I think they showed off that they're going to also have a Ludo, I think it is, the giant guy who likes to talk with rocks. And I want to say a couple other characters. They also do other things, like I think there were some Halloween figures they did for the Halloween movies. And there were some other franchises that they have under their belt they're doing figures for. But really cool company, has lots of cool things to offer. I think the figures are about $17 right now on BBTS. They are available right now if you want to pick them up. If you are a 5-point articulation fan and you are a Labyrinth fan, these are awesome. And in some NECA toy news, we have 2 little bits of NECA toy news. First up, it is the final week of NECA Haulathon was this past Friday. We got some cool things here with the Bride of Frankenstein and some other horror things. Just some cool stuff here and there when it comes to that. So if you want to pick them up, they will be available at the Target Haulathon page in the Target Geek Out area. But something cool, I think it was the first week they had the Yosagi Jimbo version of the Turtles and Yosagi Jimbo. Those are now available on NECA.com if you want to pick them up all in one, instead of having to hunt them down at Target or hope the links are available when they are. I know they've been going in and out, kind of like Super Grover, which I've been trying to get, but every time he sells out really fast. I'm just going to try to find it in stores. But yeah, the Turtles are now all available at NECA, and I think they're also available at Entertainment Earth and at BBTS. And actually, some of the other characters from the Haulathon are there too, like the Phantom of the Opera, which I believe was available during this week too. So it looks like they're already going to other fan channels on top of Target if you want to pick them up now. And real quick, we've talked about these before, but it looks like the McFarlane Toys Super Friends DC line will be going up for pre-order soon. I thought originally it was only going to be at Entertainment Earth, but it says available soon at retailers, not just Entertainment Earth. I could be having my information mixed around. Maybe it's that they're doing the Super Power Friends in the smaller scale as Entertainment Earth exclusives, and these ones are just everywhere. I get it all kind of mixed up in my head, but these will be going up for pre-order soon if you want to pick them up. We have talked about these a little bit in the past, but we now have an official pre-order date. I believe it is either the 16th, which would be tomorrow, or some other time. I feel bad, but it will be going live soon, so keep your eyes open for that on the McFarlane socials for when they go live. And I believe we talked about this last week, but we only had one image. Now we have multiple images, and it is already going up for pre-order on some of the import sites. It is that of the Amazing Yamcha, I'm probably not saying that name right, Batman Beyond classic look. And yeah, now that I see this with all the extra accessories, the alternate heads, what it looks like, in full glory, I am very tempted for this. I believe if you buy it through import right now, there's a couple sites that are selling like Anime Export, Hobbylink Japan I think might have it, a couple other places. And as much as I like BBTS and Entertainment Earth and some of the fan channels over here, you might be able to get it for a bit of a better deal, even with the shipping cost. If you buy it at one of those sites, I think it's like, I want to say closer to 70 or 60 on Anime Export and Hobbylink Japan, whereas when it gets to BBTS, because they have to pay for the import shipping fee, I think it's in the like triple digits usually with these. But once it goes live, it might be a little bit cheaper there. But it is definitely amazing looking. I am definitely interested in it because I've been told that these figures are incredible. I've never owned one personally, and Batman Beyond is one of those characters where I have an attachment to it. So it's one of those things where I might buy it just as a one-off just to see what these figures are like, and just have it in my Batman Beyond shelf because it is just cool looking. And it is the final week of the Kickstarter for Cryptoids Battle for the Green Planet. Hopefully I said the name right. I've been covering it each week. You think I would know the name by now. But it is the final week, and they are showing off items each day. I'm pretty sure by now they've shown off a new item. But they showed off a flail for Bigfoot that is really cool looking. It's got like spikes and everything. Looks like poison ivy. It's really cool looking. And then they showed off, of course, the Bigfoot alternate head that is the younger version of Bigfoot, because they did a black and white version, but now they're doing the colored version to go with the Bigfoot that is the standard Bigfoot, because the face they have on it is a more older kind of wiser Bigfoot, they say. So if you want to back this is the final week. It is doing really well. They have unlocked a lot of different things. They even unlocked some things even though they hadn't reached their goals yet, because they're confident with the fans that are backing it. I'm very excited for this. I have a feeling this is definitely going to be something that is going to be very popular once people start getting them in hand. My hopes is, like I said in the past, that some fan channels like BBTS or, other smaller channels might pick up on these and have them on their site for people who don't have the funds right now to back the campaign, because there's a lot of Kickstarters happening right now. I know that I have to skip out on this one because I've already done my limit of 2 different Kickstarters, because Kickstarters are not a cheap thing depending on what tier you go for. They can be, more affordable, but even like we're going to be talking about one in a moment where like the starting is about $300 at the low end if you want physical product. But yeah, this campaign is amazing. They definitely deserve all the support they're getting. I wish I could be backing it right now, but I'm glad to see that it's doing so well that hopefully they'll have figures in the future out in the wild e-tailers that I can pick up some and play with them in hand, because they look really cool. I really like the Mothman and Bigfoot. But yeah, they unlock some cool things. They have everything is available now for the all-in if you want to pick it up. Definitely swing by their page and check it out. In the last segment, we're going to be talking about another Kickstarter. It is that of the G.I. Joe one, and they are still going strong. It has, I think, about, I want to say, a week and a day, or a little bit less than a week, until the campaign is over. I think it gets done on the 22nd. It is almost all the tiers, I think, are unlocked. They just unlocked the one that I'm showing here, and they're already moving on to the next one. There's all kinds of amazing things in it. Like I was saying, though, like the lowest physical pledge is like $300 for the 4 books of the second era, and then you can also buy the first era if you missed out on it for about $300. If you want to get them all, it's about $600. And then, of course, there's the shipping cost, which I think is about like $100 for 8 books, which is crazy. So it is not a cheap Kickstarter, but it is one of those things where they're making a big deal that this is the last chance to get the first era one and probably the second era one, because there would be no point in making it again like the first era one, because there is really no third. We're in the third era with the stuff that's coming out right now from Skybound. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, if you want to get it, now's your chance. They do have a lot of cool offerings. If you do the, Joe side, you get all the Night Force stuff. If you do the Cobra side, you get all the Dreadnought stuff. And then if you do the 2 in one kind of situation, you get all the Rashikage stuff. You could also just do what I'm doing, where I did the full Joe one, and then I'm getting the stickers and the pins and the buttons, depending on if I want them. You can do them as add-ons, so I've just done that. For like the patches, I think are really cool, so I did that. Don't know if I'll care enough about the pins or the stickers to buy the additional ones. I might not even keep the sticker and pin of the Joe one for Night Force. But yeah, it is a really cool campaign. It is wrapping up soon, just like the other one, but it is a bit pricey. I do know they're doing the compendium sets of the first era still right now on like Amazon and at your local comic stores and stuff, where you get like, I think like 30 or 20 issues per time in these big books. It's just, this is kind of a nice way to get them all in some nice books and even take up less shelf space, because 8 books is probably a lot smaller than buying, there's probably going to be like 30 books per era, so that's 60 books probably to get all the story that you're going to get here in 8 books, but they are pretty big books. But yeah, really cool. Glad to see they're doing well. Honestly, all the Skybound comic stuff, when they do the Transformers and G.I. Joe, always do well, so it's a no-brainer. And it is fun to see that they are getting all their stretch goals unlocked. And comics we think look awesome this week. We have 4 amazing comics to talk about this week. First up is the continuation of the Skybound Energon Universe G.I. Joe number 21 with an awesome cover here with Storm, Shadow, and Scarlet doing some awesome stealthy mission stuff. I'm very excited to continue reading this and see where things are going. And then next up, in the same vein of things, Skybound's G.I. Joe Silent Missions Zartan. These are really fun one-off comics where you get, the same kind of feel as you got with the Silent Mission Snake Eyes one, where you get this cool, story without any kind of words and stuff like that. I feel like it's probably one of the more interesting things I've ever kind of flipped through, not had to read through when I've gotten these comics. Really like them. I really liked each of the different characters so far, and it's fun to see them keep doing it. Next up, we have a look at, from Dynamite, I believe it is, comics, that of the Mumra, the Ever Living number 1, which is really cool looking. This is the kind of continued story that is going on in their Silverhawks / Thundercats universe, and this one is about Mumra, the Ever Living, of course, and it looks really awesome. The story is really cool. I saw kind of a few pages shown off with no kind of words and stuff like that just look really cool. And then finally, we have a look at, I believe it is Image Comics Fireborn. This is a new comic series coming out from Image Comics where this character is a, bit of a, wealthy character. Kind of think Batman meets kind of like, I want to say the Human Torch's Johnny Blaze, I believe it is, Johnny Storm. Kind of where he's a little, bit, hoity-toity, I don't want to say arrogant, but also, he gets this dragon egg that fuses with him, kind of think like Blue Beetle kind of vibes, and then a bunch of wizards, warlocks, and magical beings are after him to take it, and he's now going to be kind of a hero character. It sounds really awesome. I'm very excited about it. I haven't seen much about it. I didn't read too much about it because I want to be surprised when I pick it up, but it looks really cool. I love the art here on the cover. It is awesome looking. But yeah, those are the comics this week that we think look incredible. Let me know in the comments down below, like usual, what comics do you think look incredible? Maybe there's something I should check out, and I will catch you with more books next week. And in our creative corner this week, we have a look at an amazing, talented 3D printer and designer, that of SYS 3D Arsenal on Instagram, and the link, like always, for their Instagram will be down in the description below. And then when you go there, if you want to pick up some of this stuff, there's a link on their Instagram to their store, so you can pick up some awesome stuff that we're going to be talking about here. They are amazing. They make all kinds of props and accessories and, amazing stuff for their figure collection. You can see here there's some podiums you can get for your Shield or Cobra or Joe's, or just have a blank one, so you can have your characters rallying the forces. You can see it here with this awesome photo of Cobra Commander rallying his troops and Duke rallying his troops. They also have some amazing toy photography on their page with their accessories and props and stuff like that. Like this really fun one of Rock and Roll sitting on along the kind of like locker things. It looks really awesome. I love that photo. We also have a look at some bunks they made for your Joes and 6-inch figures. That's really cool. They do like all kinds of stuff. Definitely check out their page and their sale page to see all the stuff that they have available. I really liked this one here of the Joes and Cobra, each of them kind of going through some weapon crates and stuff. But yeah, there's also these really cool briefcases with like gold bars or, cool tech stuff in it that you can use as like MacGuffin items in your display or any photo shoots you're doing. It is a lot of amazing stuff. I was just excited to see it all. It's not just G.I. Joe stuff. Like I said, there's some Marvel stuff, there's some Star Wars stuff. It's all 1/12 scale stuff for your collection of Marvel, Star Wars, G.I. Joe, whatever you collect in that kind of scale. And it's just amazing, like, craftsmanship. The designs are incredible, the prints look sleek and clean, and you can buy it directly from them and have it shipped to you. It's awesome. And then just the photos and the designs are what really caught my eye. Really cool stuff. Always a fun way to kind of spruce up your display. So definitely go follow them, go give them a like, share it with anyone else who might get a kick out of it or who needs cool accessories for their toys, and just kind of support them because they definitely deserve it. They don't have a lot of followers, which is just mind-blowing. I think they're rather new, and they're trying to get their name out there, so hopefully this helps them because their stuff is incredible. You need to definitely go check it out. I will catch you on the next one. Thank you so much for stopping by.